A pack of cigarettes for a birthday, small thing, right? A month later, 2 bodies, a doctored report, and folder number 217 will prove otherwise. The Marlboro pack. 10 below, warm and dry inside, super volume, smells like chips and coffee. Emma Hardy at register 8, faded uniform, badge, ask me about savings, 2 hours to go, dark outside. Emma's habit, square the receipt, folded in half, set it flush with the edge, calms her down, low country on the radio, someone chews gum on the next lane, belt runs, milk, bananas, bread, coupon. At 9, the manager Jenkins shows up. Morning, folks, looks over the tobacco case, empty slot on the shelf, Marlboro. Emma notices, drops her eyes, no gesture, no comment. $10 small thing. Emma's paid for the Chevy Malibu repair 3 times lately. Friend Kevin said he was quitting, then said no money, the empty slot in front of her. The camera over the lane doesn't record, that's what the guard said. Door clicks, pack in her hand. Pack goes in the bag behind a kid's magazine. She'll hand it to Kevin after lunch, a present. A cart rolls by, 1 banana, a quart of milk. An old woman nods. Emma nods back. Squares napkins, change, a gum pack, order holds. At 11:48, Jenkins opens the stock report. Habit, check the feed. Video cuts at 9:21 when Emma reaches for her bag. He squints, closes the window. Small thing, signs the form, files it. At the edge of town, Kevin waits by a vending machine. Gray Toyota Tercel, wipers scrape ice, smells like gas and paper coffee. Emma walks up, hands the pack like a postcard. They laugh quietly. Crows pace the lot between drifts. Evening, Emma in the back room fixes the till sheet, shifts the sale time, removes a signature, keeps the product code. Sheet in an envelope on the stack, lamp hums low. Snow squeaks outside, thin film on her car's glass. At home, bag on a chair, wipes out the tobacco smell with a lemon cloth. An old receipt rolled like a tube moves to a shelf, fridge hums. Jenkins closes the day, the accountant swears at the new software. Guard Bob in Crocs counts lottery slips. Camera blinks green, not recording. Loss report, tobacco item 1 PC, signature, folder in the drawer. 3 weeks later, a police document will show number 217 and the line, subject, cashier Hardy, Emma, super value, Green Bay, presumed petty theft of tobacco item. No one will note it started with $10 and a dead camera. No one will add the short laugh by the vending machine. Snow keeps on, morning smells like salt and ash. Dome camera above the lane is mute, the belt moves. Next receipt folded neat in half. Pine Ridge Trailer Park, 12 minutes from super value. Long light at the bridge. Asphalt wet, snow clings to wipers. Trailer 17, white, paint flaking. Satellite dish dead but hanging. Kevin on the steps, lighter in hand, phone face down. Hey, says Emma, hands him the Marlboro, early. Kevin takes it, weighs it in his palm, looks at her, then off. Thanks. Coffee, he says. Ugh. Inside is tight and damp. Mug says world's best dad. He fills it to the brim, papers on the table flipped clean side up. How was the shift? Fine, Emma says, sets the mug on a coaster so it won't leave a ring, wipes a crumb with her finger. Cameras. They said not recording. He nods, the pack disappears in a pocket. In the window, a taxi pulls in, that's it. I should go, she says. All right. On the porch, the wind, she brushes snow off her shoulder and heads to the car, glances back for a second. Kevin strikes a light and draws in at the door. Panel lights are dim. Evening, a dark Honda Civic pulls up at Kevin's. Tall guy in a hood, short talk at the hood. The Marlboro passes hand to hand with a small bag, no cash, just a nod. The car leaves without noise. Morning's knock, chain on, 2 at the door. Woman in a coat, man in a denim jacket. Mr. Olson, Detective Carlson, this is Sergeant Hall. Kevin leaves the chain on. Yeah. Someone visit you yesterday. Maybe. You smoke Marlboro. A quick look at his pocket. Sometimes. Got it, thanks. They go, snow dusts their hood. Kevin shuts the door, stands with his back to it, pulls a receipt from his pocket, smooths it. Super Volume, Register 8, Hardy E921, pins it with a Packers magnet to the fridge. Evening. Emma returns to Super Volume. Lot full of puddles, the entry motor drones. In back she shuffles paper. Grabs a draft till report, time, product code, extra signature. Slides a clip with her thumb, puts a cross by a line, looks, slips the sheet in her pocket. Exits through the service door, the can by the door over full, boxes, receipt rolls, napkins. She folds the draft in quarters, shoves it down the throat. Paper still sticks up, a white strip above the rim. Emma presses harder. Fingers stain in gray water, wipes them with a lemon wipe, smell of lemon. Left, a new dome camera clicks, little green light, lens turns, entry light lays a stripe on tile. Emma steps back, looks at the can, then her fingers, puts the wipe in the other pocket. Carts rattle at the entry. Night, Becky says without looking up. Yeah, Emma answers. Outside, wind, a bag clings to her leg, she flicks it off with her toe, starts the Malibu. A coin rolls and settles at the edge. She checks the mirror, the can by the door, a dark lump, white strip sticking up top. The camera stares straight. Emma signals, pulls out slow. Tires collect gray water, long red at the bridge. She holds the wheel with both hands, lifting fingers one by one so they don't shake. The empty wipe wrapper rustles in her pocket. She pulls it, crumples it, drops it in the cup holder. Apartment quiet, bag on a chair, hands under warm water, wallet on the table, inside receipt. Register 8, Hardy E921. She looks a few seconds and slides it deeper, closes up, listens to the fridge, moves a mug on the rack to sit straight, kills the light, leaves the night without a word. The store camera records an empty lot, the can with a white strip sticking out. Morning at Super Volume runs by the book. Cold from the stockroom, warm floor, the guard's Crocs on tile. Jenkins in the back lays folders on the table. Register 8, code, time and internal, camera review. Sergeant Hall walks in, no uniform, coffee in hand. His phone rings. He grabs the nearest envelope and leaves. The not simple Hall, distracted, takes the wrong envelope. The till envelope stays with Jenkins. On the floor, Emma scans Milk and Campbell's. Customer asks for 2 bags. She nods. Belt whispers. Terminal chirps. Her fingers are dry. A thin crack snags the receipt tape. After shift at home, she takes a flash drive. Small, black, laptop on, folders open slow. She clicks format, confirms. Opens the drive, empty, checks the recycle bin, empty, hits back and watches the white window. The cursor shakes. Inhale, exhale. The understanding comes slow, like cold in the fingers. It's her drive. It had photos from the 9/15/10/05 shift. Emma picks the drive with 2 fingers, sets it apart from everything like it's dangerous, puts the phone on silent. Screen goes dark, the fridge hums steady. She looks at the sink, then the switch, touches nothing. By the service exit, 2 employees smoke. Heard they mix up Hardy and Harper in the reports. Happens. Yeah. No laugh, just breath in the cold. Hall gets home late. Kitchen table, bottom drawer, keys, receipts, a screwdriver, a pack of batteries. He puts an envelope on top, looks for a charger, digs deeper. The envelope slides to the back, the drawer shuts, kitchen light flat. Jenkins moves register 8 from check to later, half an inch left, for order, wipes dust with his palm, looks at the lamp and heads out. Emma pulls an old thermal slip from the wallet. Super Volume, Register 8, Hardy E921, holds it like it's someone else's, hides it back. Phone buzzes with discount alerts. She doesn't look. Evening. Kevin reads a short message. Got something. Flash drive. Dirt. He texts, okay, puts the phone face down and moves the Packers magnet closer to the edge. The the receipt holds. Night, Emma boots the laptop again. Drive empty, bin empty, nowhere to go. She closes the lid, sits with the flash drive on the table, not touching it. Hands smell like lemon wipes. The stove clock blinks 2:17. Morning in the store, lamp hums, slick tile at the entry. The dome camera turns an eye. Jenkins brings a box to archive, sets it on a rack. Scanner beeps and prints a label. He sticks it clean. At the register, they ask. Cashback. Can do, Emma says. Terminal beeps, the receipt feeds Klein. She folds it neat, no edge, puts it on the purchase. Hall passes the lane, gets coffee from the machine, no sugar. How's the shift, he asks. Fine, she says. All right, he nods, looks up at the dome. It records now. It does, she says. He leaves, the air smells like wet rubber from the door. Guard Bob adjusts his radio belt, heads to lottery, counts under breath. Evening, Emma lays 3 things on the table: flash drive, receipt, keys. Flash drive apart, receipt in the wallet, keys on a nail by the door, phone silent, screen in shadow, the hood fan hums, condensation on the sill. She wipes it with a paper towel, tosses it in the trash. The can isn't full, top is clean, no edges sticking out. She kills the light, looks at the dark window, goes to bed. The snow starts hard, wet flakes, roads to Pine Ridge clog, tires hiss through puddles. Linoleum in the trailer is cold. Emma notices the same minivan at the store 3 days. Driver watches the mirror, pulls out when her shift ends. She stops looking back, decides to go to Kevin's, no call. Trailer 17, dim light, kettle on, lid rattles. Kevin opens quick, steps back to the table. Why'd you come? Emma takes off gloves, sets them together. It's not good here. He stares past her at a glass. It's fine. Snow melts by the door, a wet track stretching to the kitchen. Kevin's fingers shake on the cup. His elbow slips off the sill. He glances at the switch. Where Emma doesn't finish. Here, he says. Silence. Knock, door opens without asking. 2 walk in. First tall, black jacket. Second shorter in a cap. Smells like wet cloth and gas. Money, the tall one. Kevin doesn't answer. We're not here to chat, the second says, short smile, gone. The kettle hums louder, lid jumps, a drop hits the stove, smell of damp dust. Let's not, Kevin, voice cracks. The tall one steps and slips on the wet linoleum, catches the table with a palm. The second lets a short laugh slip. Silence. The pop hasn't happened yet, but everyone's waiting. Emma sees the second guy's phone on the table edge. Black, cracked, she brushes it into the sink and turns the tap. Water hits the case. A tiny red dot glows on a button. The screen dulls. She shuts the water, steps back. No one says anything. Everyone pretends not to see. Kevin reaches for his pocket, fingers shaking. The first instinctively yanks his jacket at the waist. Emma hears the kettle click, silence, then the pop. The bullet hits the first in the chest. He staggers, clips the electric kettle. It falls, skates plastic across the stove and bangs the edge. Smells like hot plastic and wet rubber. Water spreads, mixes with slush. Blood slips out in a thin dark line, hits a table leg and curves. The second freezes, looks at Kevin's hand, at the floor, at Emma, steps back, one more. Shoulder hits the jamb, gone through the door stays ajar. Cold drafts in, drifts fling grit inside. Kevin sinks into a crouch by the body, mouth open, words won't come, stares at his palm like it's not his. Not like, he whispers. Emma grips the sink edge, knuckles white. Water from the phone trickles to the drain. The red dot under glass goes out. She takes a cloth, wipes the doorknob and the metal table edge where she left a hand, but the fabric drags the red whiter. Stains spread. She stops, looks at the rag, sets it on the radiator. Feels something soft push against her boot toe, press into her foot. Doesn't look down, reaches into the gap, can't reach. The glove is already there. Go, Kevin says without looking up. Emma nods, puts on one glove, scans for the second and doesn't find it. Sets her boot exactly in her own print by the door and leaves, the door still ajar. The yard is empty, snow is wet, air smells like iron. A tire cart has filled with water. Emma walks the rows, her sleeve is wet. She rubs it with a mitten, the stain spreads. A few minutes later she comes back, door still ajar, warm air inside and plastic burn. Emma takes the rag off a chair, sprays the table corner. Circles go wider. She scrubs the edge, leaves a pale line down the middle and dirty rims on the sides. Drops to her knee, reaches under the radiator, can't reach. Looks around, sees it's worse. Squeezes the rag, carries it to the bathroom. Leaves it in the sink, comes back to the door, leaves. Snow thickens outside, prints lose shape. A transformer snaps somewhere. A car throws fans of dirty water. Emma keeps to the shoulder, closer to the bank. Her phone buzzes, short if anything, call, know how to smooth it. She doesn't take it out, the buzz fades. In trailer 17, the light flickers. The window fogs, the open door draws a white strip. A black phone lies in the sink, water cloudy around it. A narrow red bar shows on the button, the light is out, but the mark will stay. The kettle lies on its side, the plug half in. On the floor, water mixed with blood slips under the linoleum in a dark edge. Snow builds, the sound is even like a fan. The neighbor's dog sits in slush, doesn't bark, lot light trembles, air is damp. Emma walks until fingers ache in the glove. At the turn she exhales steam and stops, looking back. The stain on her sleeve nearly dry. The glove stayed under the radiator, she doesn't know. They haul the body by noon. Yellow tape snags a post and dirties the snow. Neighbors speak sideways, payback, nah, sure, no one argues. On paper it all fits, report closed, signatures matched, time stamps line up, entry camera records, the form shipped to archive. The line has a number, status, done, paper light, the box heavy. At the register talk is short, like counting coins. That Emma. Wedge. Hard can't recall. Looks like. Hug. Receipt feeds Klein, tears with no fray. Evening Hall at home opens the bottom drawer. Keys, receipts, screwdriver, battery pack. He sets the envelope, reaches for the charger, digs deeper. The envelope slides to the back, lands in dust. He shuts the drawer with his palm. Kitchen light is yellow, coffee cools. Station hallway, fan noise, a frayed mat at the corner. Carlson meets her head-on, folder under his arm, face neutral. 5 minutes flat. Sure, quiet. Emma holds a plastic cup. I do know Kevin, she says, eyes down. Carlson opens the folder, pulls a clear sleeve. On top, a receipt, super value, register 8, Hardy E921. He looks at the slip, then at Emma. A second of quiet. He says. Folder back under the arm, he doesn't rush. No question, no reasoning. Emma nods like it's procedure. Cup rim buckles, a drop hits the carpet. At super value, Becky counts change in the tray. Customer in a work jacket looks out the window. Heard about Emma, he says low. Which one, Becky asks. The other one, he waves. Looks like, Becky says, handing the receipt. The customer refuses. Camera above the belt blinks green. Emma leaves the station. Steps are slick. Grit doesn't help. Holds the rail. Her hand reddens. Phone heavy in her pocket. She walks to the stop. The sign clinks in the wind. On the shelter glass, a 2-for-1 sticker, edge peeling. She presses it, holds, lets go. The edge peels again. At night she dreams the register, the click and the short beep. Wakes, the fridge reads 2:17, the tap drips slow, the sound steady like ventilation. Morning, Carlson passes, evidence. The desk sergeant nods, Carlson nods, doesn't ask about the flash drive. To-do list says close file, verify signatures. He ticks boxes. Paper goes in a box, box to the rack. Daytime, Emma at the register. Cash or card? Card. Terminal beeps, the receipt comes in a thin strip. She folds it neat, no edge, hands it with the bag. The entry door moans in the wind. A bucket of salt stands by the counter. The camera looks straight. Everything moves on rails. Everything lines up. Interview room, one table, two pens, a folder, plastic cup, water at the rim. Carlson sits across, flips pages, unhurried. Name: Emma Hardy. Paper rustles. Pack of cigarettes. Yes. The pen taps the margin. For who? Kevin Olson. A little check box on the form, a half shadow of ink. Silence, a door opens and shuts behind the wall, heavy boots down the hall. The AC pulls cold. You knew about. He doesn't finish, looks at her hands. No, Emma says. Short nod, next page. He slides a sheet closer, signature line. She takes the pen, signs, lays the pen parallel to the edge. Ink feathers where water from the cup hit. No napkins. More, he says. Second page, fewer lines, more white. She signs, and again. Her fingers shake. She pins her palm to the table so it doesn't show. Pause. Carlson looks at her 5, maybe 6 seconds. Doesn't write, doesn't move. Then he takes a clear pouch from the file, a receipt on top. Super Volume, Register 8, Hardy E921. He looks at the slip, returns his gaze to her. He says flat. Folder shuts, he stands. Thank you, no question, no verdict, leaves. His elbow leaves a mark on the table. Emma sits a bit longer, breath shallow, slides the cup flush with the edge, stands. In the hall, the dispatcher's radio crackles. 1405 Brown County. Ditch, mile 3 off County Road. Mail found unresponsive. 1411 temp +1, southwest wind, moderate vis. 1420 seized USB drive, mobile phone with screen damage, super volume receipt, no ID. 1427 transport to county morgue, confirm. Confirmed. Voices without tone, short copy. Carlson listens on the move, doesn't write, walks past the desk. Looks Emma's way for a second, doesn't stop, goes to his office, door closes soft. Emma steps outside, steps slick, grit crunches. She holds the rail, palm reddens from cold, phone heavy in her pocket, 2 blocks to the stop, wind in her face. Shelter empty on the pane, a 2-for-1 flyer, edge lifts. She presses, counts to 3, let's go. Edge lifts again, the timetable plate clinks. Bus arrives on time, cabin warm, smells like rubber. She takes a window seat, stares at the pharmacy sign across the street. Green flicker drops on the glass. She sets her palm on her knee, the fingers steady. Evening, the dispatcher repeats. 1800 precip wet snow, roads slick. 1810 mail found, ID pending, items logged. At home, Emma lays out on the table, keys, pass, receipt. On the receipt, Register 8, Hardy E921, the edge browned by the heater. She slides it into the wallet, closes, squares it to the table edge. The phone buzzes once, no alert on the screen. She flips it face down, kills the kitchen light, the pipe ticks. Sleet taps the sill. The room is dark but for a green dot on the charger. She sits on the chair edge and waits for the noise in her head to drain, then goes to bed. No words, no explanations. Spring drags, jackets damp, snow gray by the curbs. In the building, the window opens 2 fingers, smells like paper and bleach. Emma in the archive store, boxes, dust, barcodes, gloves on. The scanner chirps even. She pulls a thin folder, case 217, missing item, super volume, Green Bay, pages stitched tight. Inside a receipt, a short report, signatures in pencil on the margin, error 217, retry later, date off by a day. Next box, Madison, almost the same folder. Case 217, Grocery Mart, shortage, employee gift. A wrong letter in a stranger's signature at the bottom. It slip inside, error 217, retry later. Another Eau Claire, same number, same build, different addresses, one code. Emma squares 3 folders flush to the table's edge. A second of quiet. You can hear a drip out of the pipe into a bucket. Drip, pause, drip. A new hire walks in, light sneakers, badge on a lanyard. She files by letter without looking around. On her table lies a small 2-for-1 receipt. Her fingers stop. The slip disappears into her pocket. She keeps going. Emma sets Green Bay case 217 in the wrong box, half an inch too deep. The lid shuts dull. The spine has no tag. A monitor blinks on the wall, gray interface, task list. On the top line, case 217, stored. The cursor doesn't move, a click from the far office. Confirm. The window whites for a second, the list slides. Case 218, pending, appears at the bottom. Emma sits on the table edge, writes a short note to her sister, whether work, schedule, no names, no explanations, folds it in half, leaves it on the sill. Shift ends, she dusts the top shelf. Boxes stand straight, scanner off. The bucket beneath the pipe is nearly full, the sound gone low. The clerk passes, stamps received on a bill, doesn't read the line. Emma walks past the rack, evens the spines with a finger, stops by the monitor. It still says case 217, stored. The click from the far office repeats. Case 218, pending, jumps a line up. The screen dims. She kills the light in the aisle. The door shuts smooth. Outside, wet snow lays on the steps. At reception, a green dot blinks. Inside, silence and paper. Outside, damp air and evening. Sometimes a receipt is enough.